Don't you just love it when you have a great show and streaming services decide to remove them out of existence? Claymore, medieval fantasy action anime about killing demons, is removed from Crunchyroll, and there are no streaming services in the entire world where you can watch it. Thankfully, you can find the Blu-ray copies of this on Amazon and many other stores out there. That is assuming that you have a Blu-ray player, or anything above a PlayStation 3, or anything above an Xbox One with a disc reader. Yes, they can play Blu-ray movies and shows. And if you don't want to spend any money on it, then Sailing the Seas is an option that you can take. There's also other anime that are removed that I'm way more familiar with. Death Parade is one of my favorite 12-episode anime of all time, with an anime opening so mind-numbingly catchy that it will totally distract you from how depressing this anime is. I highly recommend you buy the Blu-ray copies of it or see it on the 7 Seas, because that anime is not available anymore. Which is a shame because this anime is a must-watch. And then there's 91 Days, an anime about a revenge tale against the Italian mafia in America that takes place during the Prohibition era. Definitely one of the most interesting settings that an anime takes place in, and I like it. But this anime is also removed from Crunchyroll, so good luck finding the Blu-ray copies of them or watching them on the 7 Seas. It's always disheartening to be an anime fan and seeing the media that we love being taken off legitimate stores for dumb reasons after another, unless you're an OG and you love to sail the seas for anime, in which case, this is just Tuesday. Regardless of the availability of anime, we can all agree that we should kick these people away from the anime fandom. I am genuinely struggling with why you would want to do something like this when you're in Japan. This lady goes to Japan and proceeds to get outraged at every anime figurine that looks like a child. She calls every anime figurine a child. They're not, they are fictional characters. This is about as dumb as pointing at a figurine of Luffy from One Piece and go, "This is a person." It's not. It's a figurine of a fictional anime character. Let's break down every character that this clueless lady pointed out as children, because she just loves to farm outrage in Japan for no reason whatsoever. The first one is Habanero-tan. Habanero as in the chili pepper. No, really, this is just a chibi version of the character, and the figurine is her on the toilet because not only is the chili very hot, but she will also make you want to go to the toilet. That's the joke. The second is from Puniru is a cute slime. She's a slime, not a child. The third one is Nino from the quintessential quintuplets, the second out of the quintuplets. She's 17 at the start of the manga, but she's 18 and above later. Still not a child. The last one is Mikari Tachibana from 2.5 Dimensional Seduction, a story about loving 2D and 3D girls, hence the 2.5D title. She's a fictional character who also pretends to be a fictional character in her own universe. Not a child. It's not just that I'm bothered by the fact that she's unable to distinguish between fiction and reality, it's also because she's totally wasting the time of the employee who absolutely had to put up with her garbage through the language barrier. Lady, leave that poor guy alone and stop pretending to be shocked about something that has been a thing in Japanese culture since forever. Do yourself a favor, shut your mouth, and leave. Imagine being outraged towards Japan with something so innocuous that you must bring up real issues with it. Japan low-key is a horrible place to live. I really hate it when people say low-key and then go immediately high-key with all this nonsense. This is in response to an image of a wall of anime titty mousepads featuring characters from Senran Kagura. Imagine being so upset at a wall of anime titty mousepads that you must get this angry towards Japan. Look at all these political points. It's like I'm reading from a madman. UN, Israel, gay marriage, workers' treatment, war crimes, misogyny, genocide, suicide rate, sexual assault, sexualization of women. How terminally political do you have to be to respond to a wall full of anime titty mousepads by talking real-world politics? Even if I think all these issues are valid, none of these things have anything to do with anime mousepads featuring characters from Senran Kagura. The OP then talked about how the fact that he's Pakistani doesn't contradict his points. Well, duh. My point isn't you're Pakistani and therefore fix your own country's human rights abuses first before you fix other countries. That's a valid point too, come to think of it, but that's not my point. My point is, what does all of this have to do with anime titty mousepads featuring Senran Kagura characters? Fictional characters are not real women. They have nothing to do with the mistreatment of real-life women in Japan. The only person downplaying the real issues here is you, for comparing the real issues to fictional depictions. There's a good reason why a lot of my responses to people associating fiction with reality is, it's just fiction. It's just fiction. It's such an anti-intellectual, moronic fandomite argument. Every time I see it, I let out the deepest sigh. Well, keep on sighing because we're gonna keep using it. Also, calling the argument anti-intellectual is just you calling us stupid, which is an insult, not an argument. Stupid. Fictional characters are still fictional. They should not be compared to or correlated to real-life events. It's kind of funny considering fictional literature and art was a culture taken very seriously times ago. They are still being taken seriously now. Are you not paying attention? What are you talking about? I feel like people treating fictional characters as you can do anything with them today is very disrespectful to the author. You're right. This is your feeling after all. Not all authors are unhappy with how people treat their characters. Yoko Taro is happy that his characters are sexualized and people do anything they want with them. Also, technically speaking, authors who own the intellectual property of the characters are the only person legally allowed to do whatever they want with the fictional characters that they created. But you do not want to open the floodgates of authors copyright striking people who make fan works of their characters. That is going to be a huge PR disaster for them. Or, to put it simply, either you let people do whatever they want with the characters that authors made, or copyright strike anyone who makes the characters in a way that you don't like. Technically legal, but it will be a huge PR disaster for you as an artist. Also, they seem to have celebrated when gay authors were persecuted in China, which is very hypocritical. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not talking about LGBT people being persecuted in China. I know all about that. I'm talking about the person who says it's just fiction and also says, yeah, let's arrest those LGBT writers or anyone who makes LGBT content. This is a classic case of guilt by association. Just because some homophobic bigots agree that it's just fiction doesn't mean that it's just fiction is an invalid argument. Oh hey, we have another installment of absolute bigots towards people who dare to enjoy media. People who watch this are genuinely subhuman, retarded, brain-dead cattle whose brains have been turned into smooth mush due to porn addiction. Bro, that's just the annoying little sister of the main protagonist from Alia Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russians, from an anime that aired last year. I'm not a fan of that character either, but I do like the story. It's a nice, wholesome, and the canon pairing is pretty much already set in stones. But do you really have to call the people that enjoy this anime subhuman brain-dead cattle? The internet just loves to shame and make fun of people for things that they like, all to join in and assimilate to the correct normie society that enjoys the right things. I find that incredibly disheartening that we are not allowed to enjoy more unconventional things like a wholesome anime about a bilingual backfire, but thankfully a lot of these are just words and not enough action for a lot of these internet tough guys who think they're hot stuff, so I'm gonna clap back with my own words and say that you should shove all that trash back up your rear. And that's all for the video today. Here's a cat. Huge thanks to all the wonderful sponsors this week. You're all fantastic. Don't forget to check out my previous videos here. Click the like button, comment, subscribe, join the YouTube membership, leave some tips, just $1 down below. And thanks for watching.